guys, how's it going? So we have another planting project today. We have 3 different types of plants, all of which are very different from one another, but all really beautiful. I'm excited to get them planted. We've got Desert Plains Penicidum, there's a Fizz Juniper, and a White Pillar Rose of Sharon. So this one right here, I actually have planted the White Pillar and the Desert Plains before. We've got the White Pillar in our back garden. Did I plant it last year? I think I planted it last year. It's doing really well. The cool thing about this one, it's zone 5 through 9, but it grows very narrow. So it can get anywhere from 10 to 16 feet tall, but only 2 to 3 feet wide. So if you have a narrow flower bed like we have in our back formal garden, that's perfect because they'll tuck in and they won't take up an enormous amount of space. However, I feel like with how tall these get, the 10 to 16 feet, that's significant. That's a tall shrub. It's still going to be a really big impact out on the new property, even though it stays fairly narrow. And these, they're really low maintenance. I'm trying to think if there's anything really that you have to do with them, and there's really not. They bloom on new wood, so if you do need to prune them, which you shouldn't have to, but if you do need to, you can do that in early spring. They are very late to break dormancy though, so they're one of those things that you'll think is dead in your garden, and then like May rolls around and they'll start breaking dormancy. Some years it's as late as May for us, so we just have to be patient and let them do their thing. Once they start budding up and leafing out, it's fast, and they start to bloom about midsummer and bloom all the way through the rest of the season. Fizz Juniper, I'm really excited about these. They grow really big, 10 to 18 feet tall, that's huge, and 7 to 10 feet wide in a very conical, very pyramidal shape. And the cool thing about these is that they actually will produce huge, heavy sets of juniper berries, like more than any other variety that I'm aware of. So once these put on some size, and I feel like I can cut on them, that's what I'm going to use them for a lot. I'm going to be cutting branches with heavy loads of blue juniper berries for decorating for the holidays. And juniper berries are what gives gin its kind of characteristic flavor, which I find very interesting. But I'm really looking forward to having this one out there. Zone 4 through 8, so very winter hardy. And junipers are native to our area, and they do really, really well for us. Desert Plains Penicidum. I want to call it penstemon every time. I don't know why. It's one of those that is so similar in name, but very different in plant structure. I have planted this before back behind our gazebo. This went, I don't even know how many years ago that was now. Seems like another life ago at this point, but maybe 4 years ago, 5 years ago, we did a flower bed makeover. I planted a bunch of dianthus and sedum and some of these. I never put proper drip in that area, and I think it was user error on my part. They didn't survive. I had, I think, 3 in that area. A couple of them came back, but kind of poorly. So I'm looking forward to doing this again and dripping them properly. That's the thing for us here in our area. We have to make sure to set up proper irrigation, otherwise it's pretty much not worth planting anything. So we've been very diligent about that with everything we've put out on the new property. So these these grow 3 to 4 feet tall and wide, zone 5 through 9. And it's a beautiful day out today, you guys, 84 degrees. So I just am in the mood to plant. And we always like to start in the shade of a tree because you can see the details a little bit better on all these plants when they're in a shady condition. But I think we should head out to the new property, find a spot for these and get them planted. So I just planted some echinacea recently, and I was using this size of auger, which was awesome. I love this. I don't know what that is. What do you call that? It's different. It has that little notch right there at the bottom. It just grabs and goes really easily. But I need this 9-inch size to accommodate the root balls that we're working with today. So I'm gonna put this on. Pretty easy. This new drill, which is a concrete mixer, cement mixer, game changer for me. It's all of a sudden way more doable. The other drill that we have, which is a stud and joist drill, is way too big and heavy. Yeah, as tight as I can. There we go. All right, juniper first. The Corinthian linden gets about 30, wait, how wide does that one get? 15 feet wide. So it's not gonna get super wide. These get, what, 20 feet wide? Yes. Yes, that look good? Okay, this is where we're gonna put it. Here we go. Perfect. I'm using a little biotone starter fertilizer, but junipers don't need a whole lot in the way of extra compost and stuff. They do really well without it here, so I'm gonna skip that step. Rough up the root system just a little bit. Oh, it's so little. It looks good though. I'm gonna tip it a little bit this direction. So I did mention in a recent video that I plan to do a pallet walkway right in that opening of the flower bed and kind of throughout this area. So before I plant too many more things, I think I'm gonna do that. Like we'll get it done maybe this fall so that I can know kind of where it needs to go without planting right in the way. I don't wanna have to move anything. Okay, this next one kind of has a little bit of a wonky shape. See that? It kind of comes up from the bottom and forks out. I'm gonna put this one right in here, I think. We've got a Shawnee Brave Bald Cypress there. And then we've got, that one gets 20 feet wide, so 10 feet on center, which is what, roughly like right in here. So if that one gets 7 to 10 feet wide, that'll be about perfect. We've got a Sky Blue Serbian Spruce and then a Red Fox Katsura. Neither of those get very big, so this should work out perfect. Ouch! Whoa, that is so stickery. I should have gloves for the juniper planting. Let's see. How do I want this positioned? Like this maybe? Let me see if I like how that looks. Oh yeah, that's really, really pretty right there. All right, done. Let's do the Rose of Sharon next. You want to know something? It might look good right out here somewhere. Maybe we pop it in the center. That'd be kind of a neat pillory structure. Okay, yeah, let's hop over into the middle of the loop. I think we're gonna call this the outer loop, and then that's the inner loop flower bed. Does that make sense? I think that makes most sense to me. We've got a Scotch pine right over there, which will get quite large, and then our Tiger Eye sumacs, which have done it beautifully this summer. And then there is another Corinthian linden right over here to the right. And then we've got a forest pansy redbud right here. Looking a little sad and tired. Well, hopefully it looks better next year. Okay, I think this will look good out here. I don't really want to put it in the center so much just because I think we'll be doing some crabapple kind of interest right in here. So maybe, let's see, maybe we pop it like right in here. So we can have the 10 to 16 feet right here, and then we have enough room to do some smaller shrub interest there. I've had this one since last season. That's how long I've been hanging on to this plant. Looks really healthy, the root system does. That's a happy thing. I think when we get plants planted out here, it's like the prettiest they've ever looked ever. Ever. Does that even make sense? Like I've seen all of these plants, well, most of them, so many times at the garden center here and our other parts of our garden. But just when they get out here, they instantly, I don't know if it's just the surroundings are so stark and barren, but they're instantly like extra beautiful to me. Okay, that looks great. So now we got some grasses to work with. What do we think? Right in here, maybe? Let me take a look around a little bit. We could do one right in here. That would look really nice. Kind of like more accent type plants. I'm thinking some Arctic Fire dogwoods might look really nice in here, so I don't really want to take up too much space with grasses. Maybe we'll put some in here. No, not feeling it. There, it's roughly spaced apart right now. Now I got one more to put somewhere. Maybe we'll pop this one over on the other side. So let's get these planted real quick. Oh my, this one has much more of an intense root system. Break that up a little bit. think we got it. You can see a few plumes on this one. So when these are mature, they actually, the plumes come out kind of like a smoky purple color, and then they age to a golden wheat. And then the leaves are green during the season, and then they go through a really pretty change where they turn in red, oranges, yellows. So it really adds a lot of fall interest as well. And winter interest too, if you want to leave them up throughout the winter. Cut them back in the spring. There. All right, one left. I think having this one right behind these echinaceas rather, these grow about 30 inches tall, and because this one gets 3 to 4 feet tall and wide, it'll potentially just tower above these echinacea from the front view, which this is the front view right here. I think that'll look really good. Hopefully all of this like plop and plant ends up looking good in the end. I don't know. It sure is fun though. I love not having a rigid plan. It's very freeing. I think that'll work. All done. Yeah, I think that grass is going to look really good right there. I hope you guys aren't getting sick of planting videos because it seems like we get a load of plants here and there and we want to pop them out here, and I can't really share a master plan or an overall plan because I don't have one. It's just kind of a willy-nilly approach to developing an area. I kind of know what I want it to look like in the end, but I'm not even sure I can verbalize that. Like, I want it to be full and beautiful, lots of color, lots of texture, a ton of winter interest. So like, especially when we're developing the bigger area with shrubs and trees and grasses, things like that, I will be leaning heavy on winter interest because I really want it to feel private in the end and not so open. And then around the flower bed area, or the walkway area rather, I want to have a perennial border of some kind, and that'll stop. You know, I probably won't do perennials very far into this area before I start in with the bigger stuff. And I'm thinking right in here, it's kind of muddy. We had a little bit of a water issue earlier on. The sprinklers are here, and we'll probably stop the flower bed right around here and kind of arc it in so that we have easy access with the gator, just like right off of the pathway to the berry beds. And that area we're gonna mulch. That area will not be grassed. So anyway, I think. Who knows? But that's it for today. So Fizz Juniper, the white pillar hibiscus, the desert plains Penicidum. Really good mix of plants, I think. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.